Good afternoon. So this will be the second and the final instructional video for your shoe design. I'll start from scratch. I'll start from the very beginning with a blank sheet of paper, but when I begin to add my colors, my pencil colors and my shading, I'll speed up the film to make it easier to get through. Remembering that your job is not only to design the inside of the shoe, like you see this one here under the camera, but also to design the outside. This is called the silhouette of the shoe, this line running around the outside edge. In math, you might call it a perimeter line, or perhaps more naturally, you'd call it an outline. Regardless, what I'm going to give you, this is not what I'm giving you. What I'm going to give you is a very plain outline. I can draw this for you, or you can draw this for yourself on an 80-pound piece of paper or a piece of watercolor paper, depending on which you'd rather use. You draw lightly the outline of the shoe that I give you, knowing that what I give you is very boring, and your job is to make it more attractive. Not only should this athletic shoe fit comfortably and allow you to move freely and quickly, but also it should be attractive. So your job is to make it attractive. That's one of your many jobs as a designer. So remembering that a dot, that dot right there, is the smallest mark you can make on a sheet of paper. As a matter of fact, that defines what a dot is, the smallest mark on a piece of paper. I'm going to have that dot begin to move, and as that dot begins to move, the path that it follows is a line. And that line that I just drew is rather skinny, but this line, using the side of my marker, is rather fat. And adjusting the thickness or the thinness and controlling how you place the marker against the paper is a great way to demonstrate your skill in handling this tool and in using these marks as part of your design. It doesn't always have to be about line, it can be about shape as well, and your shapes can be recognizable shapes if you like them to. I'm going to switch to pencil for a moment to show you how I sometimes use my pencil lines and plan my marker lines. The light pencil line is itself going to get covered up with marker, but notice this interval of space I did not reinforce, I did not make it black, because I want to pretend like these lines go underneath this shape right here. So occasionally you'll have to interrupt your mark to make it appear like it goes underneath something else. You can design for whomever you'd like. You can design for a boy, you can design for a girl, yourself, somebody older, somebody younger. You can use a theme if you wish. A theme does not have to be seasonal. For example, it doesn't have to be a Christmas theme. You might want a skateboarding theme. You might want a butterfly theme. You might want a money theme. Any theme is okay, remembering that you're trying to design a special shoe that will be attractive to other people. Let me complete this mark right here. Okay, I'm now going to be quiet, and I'm going to begin to add my colors, and I'm going to begin to shade. Remember, your technical score for this assignment depends a lot on shading. I would like to see you, especially if you're using a marker, show me the technical ability of giving me thinner marks and fatter marks, lightly weighted lines and more heavily weighted lines. This variation of line plus the variation of color plus the variation of value, that's shading, makes your surfaces much more interesting. Let me get started. There, I'm done. Wild, unexpected, but sometimes when you're designing, you push the boundaries a little bit more than you otherwise would, say, to be practical. Certainly not an everyday shoe. But understanding the possibilities, pushing the boundaries a little bit farther than expected, is never a bad thing to try. You'd be surprised. Sometimes great ideas come from that. Remember, lots of good line work, lots of good craftsmanship, lines and shapes, themes if you like, actual objects, and plenty of shading, dark, medium, and light, showing me a controlled use of value. Now, you try.